Welcome to the Online Course Masters Show, where we learn from the best online course creators how to better create and sell our very own courses. I'm your host, Phil Ebner, and today I have Dave Espino back on the show. Dave is a good friend of mine, and we actually run the Passive Income Show group on Facebook. We were doing a live call for that group, and we were talking about some really awesome stuff that I thought, hey, I might as well make this an Online Course Masters Show episode. So we talk about things like taking our businesses to the next level, and something that's going to be really exciting for all of you, how you can get your very own online courses on Amazon. Yep, I said that. Dave has figured out a way to legitimately get your courses listed on Amazon. So Dave explains that and much more in this episode coming right up. Visit onlinecoursemasters.com for show notes to watch the video version of this episode and see an archive of all our past guests. Please subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you listen. Please, if you haven't done so already, leave a review for this show wherever you listen to it. Now, let's get straight to the interview. Dave, how are things on, not the other side of the world, but just a little bit further than Orange County?
How are things in Boise?
Yeah.
Well, they are awesome. We actually get, 4 different seasons. And that's my first time in my life that I've experienced that, which is really cool. I mean, the brilliant colors in the trees and the change of weather. And it's almost like clockwork. It's like, okay, on the news, they announce it's fall now. And you literally feel a change, like from one day to the next. I'm like, wow, that is really weird. Yeah. Because in California, I'm used to it being hot until like December sometimes.
Yeah.
And then it cools down for maybe a month, and then it heats back up again.
It was like 100 degrees last weekend here.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, they're saying there's a very, very slight chance of snow Saturday, which, we're not fully into winter, but they're saying a really tiny chance. And my family and I were like, yeah, come on, let's, but yeah. I'm sure people that live here are like, no, we don't want snow.
Yeah, totally.
But no, it's been a really great move, thankfully. I mean, I was uncertain about it, and I was unsure about it because I was born and raised in Southern California all my life. So it was just, I feel like it was kind of a gutsy move, but we wanted to do it because for I don't even get into it, but a lot of different reasons. A couple main reasons. We want to get our boys into college, and they're right in that age. Mm-hmm. So we were kind of coming up against a deadline, and with the high cost of living in Southern California, it just didn't make sense. And not to mention the fact that when kids go to college in California, sometimes they can't even get the classes that they need. Mm-hmm. So they have to wait another year or two to get those classes. Very, very different here. So, but yeah, lifestyle's been great. People are super friendly. I mean, we love it. And I never thought I would say that, but but it's true.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Been great.
And you have a new office that you're sharing right now, which hopefully that's helping you be a little bit more productive. Have you found that to be the case?
Yeah, definitely helps me be productive. I've had an office in the past when I used to be on the infomercial, and that helped me be productive. So I already knew that, that can happen. And then there are some times when I just have work that I know I want to be more comfortable doing, so I'll just sit at home in the recliner and, do that kind of work. But for anything broadcasting or anything professional or whatnot, the office is great. There's plenty of room here. And, I even have a little setup to list some stuff on eBay, which, believe it or not, I still do, but only on rare occasions when I can get $2,800 for one Hot Wheels car, mm-hmm. I'll list something on eBay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm just, don't mind me checking. I'm just making sure our live stream is working, and it looks like it is,
good.
Which is awesome. Just for people who are watching this and wondering what we're using today, it's called Ecamm Live, and it's they've been around for a little while, but they made an update. This is actually the beta version, but they allow you to bring in a Skype feed, which Dave is coming through, and that allows us to do this face-to-face interview right on Facebook Live, which is super awesome because it makes it easier for people like you who aren't watching necessarily live, but for people watching live, just to get access to this video. easier than doing an even like a YouTube live, because there's just people online on Facebook right now and it shows up in their feed, which is awesome. So Ecamm Live,
that is great.
Beta. Maybe I'll put together a little tutorial or something on how to use that if people are interested.
That way even I can figure it out.
Yeah, pretty easy. So it seems a lot more complicated than it is, but it's pretty easy. So
awesome.
Nice. Well, yeah, I'm in my office. I don't know if you saw my video that I posted probably a month ago, but I'm working on converting my garage into more of a studio office space just to have set up. Even though I have this office dedicated for working, I still don't have my nice camera set up. I don't have my nice lighting and microphone set up all the time. And just thinking that having a dedicated space like that will be good for the long run. So investing in the business so that when, rooms in the house might be taken by other people or whatever, I'll have a separate place to go and still film. And working on that. That's going to be hopefully done in a few months. We're still working with the city to get designs and permits all done. We're making it legit because we have to do some electrical work and all kinds of stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I would have done the project myself, but there's like electrical and stuff that I don't know how to do. So
yeah. Pay the pros for that.
Yeah, exactly. Pay the people that know what they're doing. But man, life's good in Southern California, and life with the business has been doing really well. Over the past half a year, Video School Online, I feel like has come a long way in the sense that it's finally, and I say this every year, but I feel like it's finally, the branding is where I want it to be, the website's where I want it to be. Now it's all about just creating more content, more courses, more blog articles, and expanding that way. And the ways that I'm doing that right now are just working with more co-instructors on courses, becoming more of a publisher in that sense, and then also hiring writers to write blog articles for me, which has been a cool experiment that I've been doing lately. And it's been an experiment. Some writers I've hired, and I just find that it wasn't worth it to hire that person. Like, I feel like they're not, I could have written the article better, or they're not saying what I think, like they're not teaching the way I would teach or teaching the things that I would teach. They're saying different things. But then there are some that write these great photography articles for me that are getting a lot more traffic than I've ever gotten, and I'm able to pay that person to write that article while I'm working on something else, which is just awesome. I feel like being able to invest back into the business to help grow has been something that I'm trying to do right now. And my web traffic has been increasing a lot since then. So that's exciting.
Awesome. That is a great move on your part, is to start outsourcing, the creation of content. That's awesome. And I understand what you mean. There was a period of time where I had some interns that were writing for me because I was building a lot of websites and I needed a lot of content. And I know what you mean. The quality can really vary, depending. So it's good to get like a sample from them, a writing sample ahead of time if you're planning to hire somebody, and to just get a sense of whether they fit or not. But there's something I was going to ask you about, something you just mentioned. But
courses, publishing.
You said that you're heading more in towards the publishing realm, and that was one of the points that I wanted to talk about today. Is how we should see ourselves more as an online course publisher rather than an online teacher. Because I think that if you see yourself as an online teacher, you're limiting yourself. You're limiting the scope and the breadth of how big you can get, because you're really thinking like you're thinking kind of small.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. If that's what your mindset is at, and if that's what you want, and you want to be an online teacher and you love teaching, we all love teaching, I think, if we're online teachers, right? If we're online teachers. But I think that if you want to get big with your business, at some point you got to start thinking in terms of being an online course publisher. And so maybe we could have a conversation about that, and tell me a little bit about how you see yourself going in that direction of more of a publisher and less a hands-on, do it yourself.
Well, I think, like you said, it's kind of the next step for people who start teaching online, and it's one route that we can take. And like you said, there's nothing wrong with just being an online teacher and sticking to your topic. But I've created this brand that is bigger than what I can just teach myself. And there's lots of things that I've learned over the years, and I've taught courses on them, and new things that I learned partly to teach a course on. But to grow faster, to create courses faster, and also just to feel like a bigger company, I felt like I needed to expand a little bit more by hiring other experts who know topics that would fit under my brand, but I don't know that topic. And so my goal when I was looking at Video School Online a few months ago, what is Video School Online? What is our goal? And it's a place to learn creative skills, but really I want to have a course on any video editing software, any photo editing software. And for now, or for a while, I've been limited to just the software that I use, but there's so many other applications that people use around the world, and they would love to learn. And I can find experts to help teach courses on those topics. I think the hard part, it's hard though, it's tricky, and we can talk about advice for doing it, but it's hard to find people who are going to have the quality that you want, who maybe are dedicated to it as much as you, and then also just the logistics of, okay, what's the revenue split going to be? What's the workload split going to be? How do you make it fair? And what is my role as a publisher? I've found that to make a course really good, I have to be pretty hands-on with not just, coming up with the topic and saying, hey, can you create this course for me? But really through the outlining of the course and through coming up with a style for the course, really hands-on. But me not being in front of the camera and not editing the course necessarily allows me to do a lot more and work on other things as well. So it's kind of this next level. And I look at companies like Craftsy.com, which had 1,000 courses, and they were bought by NBC Universal for $240 million or something. And I'm
wow.
Video School Online could do that someday. So that's kind of one of the companies that I look up to. I don't want to be a course marketplace like a Skillshare or a Udemy, a mini Udemy, but I do like the idea of being a bigger content creator. And who knows? I still feel like this is we're in the beginning, and who knows what's going to happen in 5-10 years from now with our own businesses and with online teaching in general. So yeah, that's where I'm at. What have you been doing, or have you done any sort of more publishing model stuff as a teacher?
Well, I think for me, it's just a little bit of a mindset shift versus bringing on instructors and that kind of thing. My mindset shift was that I noticed that I was creating more courses for Udemy, but I wasn't increasing my income that much. There was not a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-whatever ratio for increasing. So what that told me was that I'm just not in the topics that are hot enough, or there's too much competition for my topics. Either way, it was something that I didn't feel I could really change very much. So that, and also there's this program that I've told you about, and I know you know about it, but it's Merch by Amazon. That's a print-on-demand T-shirt business. And it is just so hot. I mean, it is on fire. There's so many people interested in it because it's something that's easy for people to do as a business. And so I've been partnering with people who are already successful in different aspects of that business, creating courses for them. And these courses are selling like crazy. I mean, this one gentleman that I partnered with, we did a $97 course. And the other day, I forget how many, I think it was 9 or 10 sales came in, in a 24-hour period. And I'm like, hey, Mike, what did you do anything, special or different? He goes, oh, yeah, I was interviewed about my business. And then I sent them to the course, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And we've had these $97 sales coming in, ever since. He's been on a couple other interviews. I'm like, dude, I'm sending you on a world tour of interviews. But but it's kind of cool to not have to be the expert, quote unquote, but to be able to showcase an expert in your course. Now, each of these courses is created differently. Like this one with him, he says, Dave, I'm not one of those people that puts myself out there. I don't know if I could do this. He was very unsure. I said, look, let's do it this way. We'll do a webinar, just you and me, and you'll be the only one that's on the screen, and I'll be coaching you off screen. So that's very much like a producer model, right? And so I was using the kind of the experience that I had being produced, on an infomercial, and I was guiding him with what to say, what kind of questions to answer next, what kind of things to talk about. If it wasn't quite, great, or if I felt like he didn't have the right energy or needed to smile more or something, we'd just do another take. The whole thing's just recording anyway. And so basically we did roughly 3 hours of webinar, he and I, because he did need some help with presentation and things like that.
It's hard when you're getting started.
Yeah. And, but what was good in this situation is he had faith that I could help him to build a course and create a course. And then the job came, of editing it all and putting it all together. And then we added some more things and added some PDFs and all that kind of thing. Now, this particular style of creating a course probably would not fly on Udemy. I want to just make that clear because the webinar software that we use probably was not quite up to the video standards where Udemy would approve it. But that's okay because we weren't making it for Udemy. We were making it for our Teachable school. And so that was an interesting new approach to creating a course or co-creating a course with someone, was get them on a webinar, coach them along, kind of like a juicer extracts all the good nutrients out of the fruit or the vegetable. I felt like I was the juicer. And I was extracting all the good, secrets from this guy and learning all his strategies that, that he's using to be successful. And so because it's a good value proposition and people are excited about his particular business model, we've been selling them like crazy, $97 a pop. We split it 50-50 and everybody's happy.
That's awesome. That's just awesome to be able to get those higher premium price sales. I get a few of those coming in from a couple of things nowadays, and it's always just like, those are the sales that, at least at this point, it's like, make me feel like, wow, that's like special. Not that the Udemy sales don't feel special, but now that it's like my full-time thing, I have to make a certain amount of Udemy sales to, survive. And so getting those extra full price, premium product sales are really special. So
yeah, but it's not like you're really worrying that much about.
No, I don't have to worry that much anymore, which is which is just amazing. Yeah. I know we're so blessed to be in this position where we're at, and it's hard not to settle and not to I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's hard not to expect this every month at this point.
Well, and the good thing, Phil, is, and this is for everybody out there too, is if you're a home-based entrepreneur and you've developed the skills and the disciplines and the habits, of success, it's kind of hard to turn that off, right? Because the way I see this business, or really any home-based business, it's kind of like a video game that you get paid to do. Like everything I do during the day is a game to me now. It's not a struggle or I got to worry, or now it's like, okay, how big can we get this thing? How many passive income streams can I stack upon each other now? Where before it might have been a struggle to like, oh man, I got to get my, like when you're first starting out, I got to get my first course up. Will it work? Will it sell? And then there's another stage where you've got some courses up. You're like, okay, this is working. This can actually work. You feel like you've proven it to yourself. Then there's another level where you're just stacking income streams. Each income stream is coming in, regularly. And if you do like Phil has done, where you're really, distributing your income streams across different platforms and bringing them different ways, then you're really building some security. And there is nothing like it, man. And then, so when you've got that base of income security or financial freedom where you don't really have to worry about bills anymore, now let's just play at it, right? Let's just have fun with it. Let's see how big we can get it. Let's see what else we can do. Let's see how else I can, build this thing. And that's where I think Phil, you're still way ahead of me, but I think Phil and I are both in that position now where we don't have to really worry too much about a monthly income or anything or bills being paid. That's taken care of. Now let's take it to another level.
And that's how we have this opportunity of becoming more of a publisher, because we have it set up.
Correct.
We know the system, but also we've built the numbers, just the numbers on Udemy, the numbers in our email list, where we can bring in a co-instructor and say, hey, like, we can work together and we can promote to this amount of people. And as a new instructor, that is probably like really attractive, because when I was starting out, I would have taken advantage of that because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have an audience of my own. And the truth is, like, I've worked with co-instructors almost the entire time that I've been on Udemy. And when I was starting out, the co-instructors like didn't do any of the promotion. They didn't do any of the behind the scenes work creating the courses. But now I'm making them do that. I'm making them edit the course. I'm making them upload to Udemy, write out descriptions, sales page. And they're realizing, man, this is like a lot of work. So it's not a unfair thing for me to partner with someone to be in charge of the promotions, to be in charge of the writing the sales copy. And like the fact that I have a website now that has so much traffic and the brand on YouTube and stuff, it gives me the opportunity of being a publisher now. So that is
cool awesome
too. And it kind of just is like obvious that I should just keep expanding and trying to go bigger. I mean, I guess some people might say the other argument is that why do you need like so many courses? You could just pick one course, do one course, make it a super premium product, and just stick to that one exact topic and maybe add coaching to it and that kind of thing. That's another route. That's not the route that I've taken, but that's another way that you could grow as a business as well.
Right. Well, that seems to be the model that you find on Teachable or Thinkific on the self-hosted platforms. You've got a lot of people very successful with online courses where they create one incredible course and then they just go to town marketing it, and somehow, they're able to pull it off. But for most of us where, we're more teachers than we are marketers, let's say, it just makes more sense to create content because that's what we're good at. It's what comes naturally to us, right? So by creating a lot of content, the cool thing about that is you diversify your income. You've got, like I have 46 courses on Udemy, but I have I have quite a few other courses elsewhere. And each one of those I look as an individual income stream. And then outside of Udemy, I've got these other income streams. And my income streams outside of Udemy out-earn my Udemy income. But all of it comes in from not just courses on Udemy, but Skill Success, Amazing.com, all these other, like you have Skillshare, all these other platforms. And those platforms are continuing to come in and continuing to want our courses, so there's nowhere to go but up.
How is Skill Success doing for you?
Skill Success is okay. It pays me a few $100 a month, 200 or 300 roughly. It's not a huge amount, but it's consistent and it's always there, and it's just another part of of the different stacks, the passive income stacks. Yeah. But I do much better on Amazing.com and much better on Udemy.com. Yeah. And then, one thing we should talk about today is getting our courses on Amazon, which is something I'm very excited about.
Because I know you. I think you have a course or something that maybe we can include links to or something. But can you break down the process of how that works? Because I'm still confused about how that even works.
Yeah, I'll give you the simple version because I want everybody to kind of understand it. I know you could understand a lot more, but the simple version. Well, let me tell you the story though, because I think the story is kind of cool. Is we've always kind of believed or sensed, you and I and most online instructors, that Amazon at some point might get into the online course world, or Google or Facebook or somebody, right? And they still might. But so I had these Google alerts set up for keywords like Amazon online teaching, Amazon education, Amazon online course. And I just set them up because I figured, hey, I want to be the first to know if Amazon does this, right? They're getting in everything else, right?
Yeah.
I saw a funny meme today on Facebook, and it said, it was like a fake news story, and it said, Amazon buys the world for $490 trillion. Because they're buying up everything.
Yeah.
But anyway, so one day I get one of these alerts, and I'm reading it, and I see that somebody has a course for sale on Amazon. I'm like, what the heck? So I go over there, I click on it, and of all things, it's somebody's how to sell on eBay course selling on Amazon. And I'm like, I'm the eBay guy, right? And this guy beat me to it. So I'm like, wait, how did he do that? And then I go in, and there's a category for online courses on Amazon, so I started doing some research. I'm like, okay, I got to get on this. If this guy's here, I got to be here. So I started Googling the heck out of it, and I emailed about 5 different Amazon departments. And in my Google search, I found out that Amazon had done like a little beta test in 2013 of online courses, but they never went through with it. And so there's this few, like 5 or 10 companies that are selling online courses on Amazon, nobody else. So I'm like, this is weird. How can I get in there? So I emailed about 5 Amazon departments. I said, I pointed to that course. I pointed to that category. I said, look, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Can you tell me how to do this? How to get my courses on here? I heard zero from anybody. I heard nothing, And so 3 or 4 weeks pass. I'd forgotten about it because I figured, it was a program that came and went.
Yeah.
And they just never launched it. So one day I'm going about my business. I get an email from Amazon, and it's one lady. She says, I researched this for you, and I found out. She says, you can go to this link to publish your course on Amazon. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go over there. But as it turns out, it's not an online course platform. It's not an online course thing. So I was basically given a link to one page where I could, which was basically like, here, Dave, here's the next piece of the puzzle. Okay. So, yeah, totally. It was totally like that. And so I'm going in there. I'm saying, okay, so how does this work? First, out of about, 5 or 6 different things you could do on this one page, I had to figure out which one of those would apply to an online course. And then putting 2 and 2 together, seeing the example course that I had, I was like, oh, okay, so the way it's done is you create a listing on Amazon, but it's not through the typical listing process where you would sell anything. It's a different section of Amazon. You create a listing and you sell an activation code in your listing. Amazon allows you to do this in certain places. And then when somebody buys the course, they're basically buying the activation code, in other words, coupon code, and with directions as to how and where to redeem that coupon code. So, which can be your Teachable School, Thinkific, Zenler, whatnot. So I put these 2 together. Now, I didn't know if these things were going to work. I went through the whole process. I filled everything out. I didn't know if I was doing it right. There's no instruction guide. There's no manual, telling you step by step. And so I'm like, man, it's been like 4 or 5 days since I did that, and I haven't heard anything from Amazon. I haven't heard whether it's been approved or published or what. So I went into my account, and I went and looked around in one of the areas of the dashboard, and it says published or live. I think it said live next to my course. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So I went and looked it up on Amazon, and it was live. It was for sale on Amazon. I'm like, whoa, I did it. I was just so excited because I can't tell you how many steps I had to take to figure this thing out. And then to figure out that I did it correctly But I found out later that Amazon doesn't email you when your course is published. They only email you if there's a problem. If there's a mistake, if you made a mistake in the process of listing it.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, it's on. So I hurried up and published 4 more courses, and now I've got 14 courses up there. I mean, and they're selling.
That seems incredible. I mean, the fact that you can do that, and then also it just seems like it wouldn't be that hard to do once you know the process, just to get all your courses up there.
That's right. You're right.
What's the catch?
Well, the catch is the multiple steps that I had to take to, number one, figure it out. Because, I was on a Facebook group. I think it was a Teachable group. And somebody said, does anyone know if you could publish your online courses on Amazon? I'm like, I figured it out. I'm like, hey, I figured it out. I figured it out. And they're like, and then all these people are like, I don't know, and following, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, hey, I figured it out. I have a course on it, and it's like I'm yelling, but nobody's hearing me.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So anyway, this one guy, he made it his mission. It's like, I'm going to figure it out. And so I felt sorry for the guy, man. He was contacting all these Amazon departments. He was on the Amazon.com Facebook group asking questions. He was in the developers group. He was all over the place asking, like, how do I do this? Mm-hmm. He never figured it out. It was just...
And so this is legit, right? It's not like Amazon's going to come back and be like, no.
No, because it goes through an Amazon approval process. Uh-huh. Your course does not get published unless Amazon approves it, and that takes 2 to 3 days usually. Uh-huh. I've gotten them done in 1 day. But yeah, you just fill out this. It's basically it's a simple 8-step process. You fill this out. You're basically creating your listing in that process. And the only other thing you need is a course graphic. You need a course graphic because it's going to show up as an actual Amazon listing. Mm-hmm. In Amazon, the identifier for a product is called an ASIN, which I don't remember what it stands for, but it's basically the unique identifier. Mm-hmm. So your course has an ASIN number, which simply means that it can show up right next to your Kindle books of the same title, or when somebody searches for that particular topic, like photography, your course can be there as one of the products. And amazingly, it's a digital product, so you don't have to ship anything, like you would with
okay, I'm going to go buy your course and take it right now because, I imagine Phil, I'll be able to make my money back, right?
I've been going like this to you, Phil. I'm like, Phil.
I know you have. You told me this before you even launched your course, and I think you even sent me a video. I probably have it in my messages somewhere.
Well, I might have sent you the course itself. Yeah, I don't know. If not, I'll send it to you. But
I think it's one of those things where I'm like, is this for reals? And I think that's why maybe everyone else is like, wait, is this for reals? Like, is this like a trick? Because it seems like a trick. It sounds like a trick. But I'm saying, I imagine that if I did it, I'd start making some money because I have the courses already.
Yep. Absolutely. That's why I've been like, I know you're super busy. You're probably like, oh, Dave's just, doing his crazy thing or whatever. But yeah, you definitely, if anybody should look at it, it's you who has so many courses and you're so good at putting stuff on multiple platforms and everything.
And the fact that it's on, I can just use my Teachable account. It's already hosted, but I'm sure, and I think I saw this on one of your chats somewhere on Facebook, but Amazon takes what, 75% or 60%?
Yeah, it's similar to the Kindle royalty program, which is 70-30. So the publisher gets 70%, Amazon gets 30%. Think of that as just, the cost of doing business on Amazon.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the benefit of being on Amazon, besides that massive traffic and the fact that your course will be found next to books, here's how I see it. Like if I have a choice, if I'm on Amazon and I'm looking for how to do photography, and there's a book there, a Kindle book for $7.99, or there's an online video course for whatever, $79, I'm going to jump on that video course.
Yeah.
Because a book's not going to show me very well how to do photography. I'd much rather watch a video course than buy a book, right?
Yeah. Okay, so, I'm looking, I just typed in Dave Espino because I figured that would be the fastest way I could actually see this live on Amazon. And I see your courses come up as an online course. or
Yep.
online code. And you could set your own price.
Yeah, you can set your own price. I have them at $27, $47, $97, and $597.
Wow. Okay, this is
You set your own
else.
price.
This is.
I should have maybe just sent you that search. You would have said, "Oh, Dave."
I know, exactly. Yeah, that's what you should do. Is say, "Hey, every online teacher, I have my courses on Amazon. Check it out."
I should do that. All right, you just gave me a great sales tip right there.
Crazy.
Yeah, so that is awesome because the fact that you're on Amazon gives you credibility, which means you can charge even more for your course because you're on Amazon.
Yeah, and it's just another way for people to find you. And if they sign up for your course, it's on Teachable or your own platform now. You get their information and you can promote to them another product or service later on. So, well, that's awesome. That seems like a lot of stuff that you've been up to. And I mean, it's, and I'm sure that course that you're doing is probably making some sales and probably it's worth it because I don't know no one else seems to figure this out. So
that course in the first 2 weeks of launching it sold a little over 800 units.
Wow.
In 2 weeks.
Wow.
My partner and I, because my partner has the kind of the audience for the latest, coolest, cutting edge stuff, right? So, and it's tied into an affiliate army of people that will also promote your stuff. So, because of that, we sold a little over 800 units. We're now at almost 900 units, but just in the first 2 weeks, we sold 800 some units, and we each made about $13,500 in 2 weeks.
Wow.
From that launch. And people are still, the weird thing about it is it's kind of rippling right now. If you're on the Teachable Facebook group or the Thinkific Facebook group, people are going, "Hey, did I hear that you could put your courses on Amazon?" And like, yeah. And so now I even have like affiliates who, I'm not even doing the work of promoting anymore. I've got this lady who she published her course on Amazon, and within 48 hours she made a sale, $59 course. And so now she became an affiliate, and now she's kind of like my evangelist. She's telling everybody how cool this course is and how you should get it, blah, blah, of course, through her affiliate link. And she's excited because she's never been an affiliate per se where you get paid instantly. So as soon as somebody makes a sale, you get money in your PayPal. So she's fired up, and of course she likes the course and wants to promote it. But it's a for real thing. It's just, Phil, I'm kind of a digger. Okay, I dig and try to figure out sometimes things. I think that comes from the old swap meet days where I would dig and I'd find the goodest, the best stuff I'd find at the bottom of the box, when you're going out picking. Well, I apply that to this, and I'm just digging, trying to figure out how to do this. And it just so happened, and that's why angels were singing when I got that course up the first time. I'm like, oh, it's on now. So.
Oh man. And it seems like it's early enough to, get on Amazon, start becoming that sort of that bestseller in whatever keyword it is. So it's probably a good time to get all my courses up there. I wonder if I wonder what Amazon's thoughts about it are. Are they, aware that this is how people are selling online courses, and are they going to come up with an actual way, like a platform like we've always been wondering about, or if they're just like, whatever, this is just more sales that we're making, more money that we're making. We don't have to deliver anything else either.
What's cool about this is once you actually watch the course, you'll see what happened. What happened was they had a slot or a category or an area where you could list stuff. I figured out how to put the online courses into that slot, and it works. Now, hopefully, I still believe that Amazon will at some point get into that game, either by buying an existing company, which would probably be the easiest way, or by starting their own. But until that happens, we'll already be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll have our stuff there and we'll be selling it and selling it at a higher price. So this all started with the conversation about 70%, 30%. You could just raise your price to cover that if you want, or just think of it as an affiliate that you're paying 30% for getting you sales, which is really what it's like, so. But I haven't had any.
I've always felt like, with Udemy affiliates or anything, like, it's sales that I'm not going to make anyways on my own. So bring them on. Bring them on.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's exciting. So that's why you don't have a perfect Black Friday Udemy sale strategy yet.
That 13,000 might be a reason why. Yeah, I just haven't had the time.
Yeah.
No, but actually, this particular product did come with more support questions than most because it is so cutting edge, and it was so quick I was so quick to launch the product after discovering that it could be done. You know what I mean? So I launched it right away and we blasted it out. And of course, 850, some sales, you're going to get some support questions.
Yeah.
But I went so far as to, maybe I shouldn't say this publicly, but one guy was struggling with it. I went so far as to actually do it for him, get him through it and record it so that he could see the process.
Yeah.
And now he's fired up because he's doing it. But like I said, I shouldn't say that publicly because I don't want everybody to say, "Oh, you get Dave doing this for you."
Hey, everyone, Dave's uploading all your courses to Amazon for you, everyone. If the process is so confusing, that could be a small side hustle if someone wants to do it. Similar to how Amazon Video Direct was really confusing for people. Even after our course, people were confused about how do I get it up there? And it was confusing with the closed captions, and there's still, I don't understand why some things get approved and some don't. So that's
and by the way, this is way simpler than Amazon Video Direct. This is basically filling out an 8-step process, following along with the videos as I show you how to do it. Once you've done it once or twice, you'll have it down. It's not complicated at all. The only part that was complicated was figuring it out. And once it's figured out and you know how to do it, it's a piece of cake.
That's awesome. And have you had any experience of them not approving a course?
Yes, I did have a couple of times where, I'm trying to remember what the specific thing was. I did something wrong. Oh, I know what it was. It was the actual codes were not working correctly, so I had to do a little customer support ticket with Teachable, and they gave me the trick on that. So
got it. Okay.
But yeah, I'm basically
there's like topics or things that.
Oh no, that part, no. There is no vetting as far as your content, the quality of your content. None of that. All they care about is that you listed it correctly, that you did the mechanics of it correctly. Yeah. Nothing else. There won't be. Now I can't say that for sure. If you run something that's really risque or something, maybe there's a problem there. But I'm talking like in terms of the quality of your content or the quality of your course itself. No, they're not looking at that. Which is awesome because this is not just a way to sell online courses. Like if you have, let's say, a bunch of stock footage and you want to sell a package of stock footage or stock photography, you could sell that this way. This is for any type of digital product, not just online courses.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a bunch of WordPress themes that you want to sell, or a big package of graphics, or a podcast that you want to sell, just the audio from a podcast or a special interview or something. I mean, anything that's digital, you can sell it this way.
Yeah. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can I make a podcast episode for Online Course Masters?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm thinking, man, this is going to be valuable to people.
It is going to be super valuable. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. I'm going to do that.
And speaking of valuable, one other thing I wanted to cover today was how valuable we are as people who know how to create an online course. You alluded to it earlier, Phil, because you said, how when you were just starting out, you would have jumped on an opportunity to work with a seasoned veteran, a seasoned instructor. a lot of people out there will do the same thing. They will jump on that opportunity to work with us because we know how to build an online course. That means for all of you in the audience, if you've even produced 1 or 2 online courses, realize what kind of a commodity you are and how you can partner with people or even create a course for someone. I don't know if anyone's heard of Russell Brunson out there, but he's a pretty big time guru in terms of internet marketing. And I recently did some work for him, which was basically creating online training for one of his products, one of his membership sites. And so I sold myself, in a sense, on, I was able to show them a couple of my courses and they loved it. And they're like, yeah, we want to hire you to do that. And it was just a project, it was just a gig that I got paid very well for. But so it's not like a passive income thing. It's just a one-time, cash infusion. But that ability to teach, communicate, and to create content like we are able to do, realize you have a valuable skill out there, guys. And it's not just for you to benefit from, but you can actually benefit other people with it and get paid to do it as well. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I think oftentimes as online teachers, we think of ourselves as I'm just an online teacher. I put these courses together. No, man, there's a lot of people that have not figured that out, that need your help or that need your ability to put that content together. Yeah. And so,
just like I'm outsourcing people to write articles for me, there's companies that if they have a budget, they're willing to spend a lot of money, like Russell Brunson, to hire you to create an online course. I actually did that same kind of exact thing for this company called Filmora. They have a video editing app, but they wanted me to create like a little YouTube course. And I pitched, they came to me, but I pitched them what I would do, my rate, which I did a good rate for myself, and they were able to pay for it. Just because, it's hard to not only create the course, but to be able to be on camera like that in itself, it's hard to find someone who's comfortable doing that. So
exactly,
totally something that even though it's not passive income, something that we can all do. Especially if you're in sort of a niche that and you're in it for a while, that you develop your expertise. I actually just got an email from the creator, DJI. They're the creator of like drones and like all these cool cameras. And they reached out to me literally just yesterday and were like, hey, we're wondering about collaborating on a course or something. And I responded, I was like, heck yeah, because if that means I get a free drone, then for sure. But yeah, like people are starting to reach out to me about that kind of stuff too. And it just takes time doing it and building your expertise to do that.
Yeah, and you could do those on a case-by-case basis, as long as there's good enough benefit for you. Maybe the benefit is a cash infusion. Maybe the benefit is a free drone, which I wouldn't mind having. Or maybe the benefit is it opens doors to bigger opportunities, right? There's one time, this isn't an example of that, but there's one time when I did I created a course for a venture capitalist, and the venture capitalist paid me $5,000 one time to create this course for him. And now he's making money on it because I think he saw it as I invest X amount and then I get paid for that forever.
Yeah.
From that point on. So, but other times it might open doors to opportunities that maybe you didn't even see were there at the beginning, or they weren't visible at the beginning, I should say. But because you get in with a company that's doing really well, you might have further opportunities or bigger opportunities down the road. So there's a lot to be said for that, the ability to open doors and get into places with your skill.
So it's kind of like there's benefits to both being the publisher, but also being the person who works for the publisher as well, especially when you're starting out, but also when you're more advanced in your career as an online teacher as well. Yeah. Good stuff.
I think that both you and I, Phil, we're both kind of, because we're at this level, and don't get me wrong, there are other instructors that are at this level or above or whatnot, but because we're at a decent level, I think that we're now starting to explore and see and find, other opportunities or different opportunities. And it's kind of cool to be at this place where, you can start to do that and explore and not just be in the grind all the time.
Yeah. And it's kind of how I started teaching online. It was part-time or side hustle aside from my full-time job, and I was able to just experiment with it, create courses on whatever I thought was interesting and figure out which ones people actually liked, figure out how to get better. But then there was this point in the middle where I was like, okay, this is becoming my full-time thing, so I really need to work hard. Oh no, Udemy changed the price, so we got to go crazy and figure out how to make a living. And then since then, it's continued to grow. And like you said, at this point, I'm at the point of like, okay, how do I make this even better? Because I can depend on the passive income that I've built up to this point. Mm-hmm. And now it's just like, how can I make this even better? How can I take it to the next level or take it to a different level? It's exciting.
It is. Yeah, it's a great place to be.
One thing that I've been doing that has worked relatively well is just creating a membership model on my own site. And I know we've talked about this before, and I know I could be charging more, and you think I should be charging more, but I'm charging $9 for my monthly membership. And I have almost 200 people a part of that so far.
Wow.
And it grows, and there's, of course, people that leave it every month too, but it's growing somewhat consistently. I started that membership program at the start of the year, so that's just income that I can count on basically from month to month, which is awesome too to see that growing, because in the long run, that gives me a lot more just peace of mind knowing that even if Udemy disappeared, like with that and then money coming in from like my YouTube ads and then from affiliate sales from my own website, like I could do this and be fine.
Yep.
So that's pretty awesome too.
Well, what I love about that is it's totally yours. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're not on any platform with that. Maybe your courses are on Teachable or wherever, mm-hmm. but it's your business. That part of it, that part of your whole, your empire is 100% yours. You could, if something were to happen to Teachable, move it to Thinkific or somewhere, but those are your customers, your clients, your students fully, whereas on Udemy, we need to kind of play by their rules to get access to those students and whatnot, or any other platform, is going to be that way. That is 100% yours. So that's awesome. That's a good number. So that's roughly what, $1,800 a month.
Yeah, and some of those those are all the total members in my sort of Video School Online membership. Some people paid $300 to get the lifetime subscription, or
there you go.
Some people are paying $100 a year, but roughly probably between $1,500 and $1,800 a month is recurring at this point. So
see, I'd be so fired up about that. I would actually be more fired up about that than a higher dollar number, but I had to depend on another entity for that. Mm-hmm.
It's exciting because now it's like, okay, how do I just drive more traffic to Video School Online? How do I just get more people in the door? One of the things that I'm using is ThriveCart. It's the plugin that hooks up with all kinds of other platforms, but it hooks up with Teachable, and that has increased the amount of people signing up for my membership site because it's way easier for them. I also have a 7-day free trial through ThriveCart, which you can't do with just Teachable. And that's on my homepage of Video School Online as my main sort of opt-in is, here's your 7-day free trial. Automatically kicks into a $9 a month membership, but getting a lot of people excited about that. And they don't have to go to a separate sales page or anything to actually sign up. With ThriveCart, it's just right there on Video School Online's homepage, and it's super easy for them to sign up that way. So that's cool too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love the way you've put that together, and using ThriveCart sounds like it makes it an easy experience for the new user, and you're getting them into a low dollar thing, which is easy to just stay with and not cancel, and that's awesome. I love that. Great business model.
There's only a couple of issues with ThriveCart, like the canceling. It doesn't automatically cancel the ThriveCart membership because the payments going through, it's separate than Teachable when they sign up through ThriveCart. So if someone wants to cancel, I have to manually cancel them with ThriveCart. They don't have it automated yet. It's a feature that I'm hoping they add for the Teachable integration shortly, but that's the only thing. But yeah, it's been awesome so far to see that grow.
Yeah, that's great, man.
Yeah, that's
good to hear.
So everything seems to be working out pretty well. We've been chatting for an hour. Is there anything else you wanted to chat about before we sign off?
No, other than just encouraging, if I know this is geared toward online course creators. Just want to encourage you all to check out that course. I'm sure that Phil will have a link somewhere to check it out, because you can now have your courses on Amazon. It's completely legit. Phil just, approved it, so to speak. And it is completely legit. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't. It's not some weird, I had to hack into Amazon servers or anything like that. But it is pretty cool, though. I think when you see it, and this is the response I get from most online course instructors, when they see it and they see how it works, they're like, this is genius.
Yeah.
And they get very excited about it. So
cool. Since this is going to be an Online Course Masters episode, then we'll definitely include links to all of that. And
sounds good.
Yeah, and for everyone watching this or who watches this on the Passive Income Show, thanks for watching the replay. And of course, we're always here to answer all of your questions on the Passive Income Show or on Online Course Masters group, and really anywhere. So Dave and I are happy to help out because, it's our turn to give back and help people have success.
That's right. We're all about the online courses. We love it. It's given us a great lifestyle. And we just want to see everybody else have that same opportunity, that same chance to have an ongoing passive income that you don't have to do anything for, except maybe answer a few student questions here and there.
Yep.
So
cool. All right, Dave. It's been good chatting, and everyone else, we'll see you.
Same here.
See you soon.
See you, everybody.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. As always, if you want to fast track your success, head over to onlinecoursemasters.com and sign up for your free trial of my flagship program, the Online Course Masters Masterclass. Yep, that's right. It's a masterclass designed to take you from zero to hero, creating and selling your very own online courses. If you haven't done so yet, please leave a review for this show wherever you listen. This is how we can help expand our audience and help teach the world. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week in the next edition of the Online Course Masters Show.